A warning before we begin. This episode of In the Field includes brief descriptions and footage of deceased animals, as the nature of the species warrants such discussion. Viewer discretion is advised. No matter where you live in the world, if your home has wooded forests, you're probably familiar with squirrels. If, like me, you live in the northeastern United States, you're specifically probably familiar with the gray squirrel, also called Squirrus carolinensis. There are other species of squirrels here, like the American fox squirrel and the red squirrel, but the gray squirrel is by far the most ubiquitous, the scourge of bird feeders and damaged roofs in every human settlement around. But what exactly is a gray squirrel? Why are they so prominent in human-dominated spaces? Squirrels are rodents, like mice or beavers, but they're arboreal, which means that their bodies are specialized for living in trees above the ground. The ankles and their hind legs are very flexible, and they can rotate their feet backwards to climb down trees. Their rodent heritage also provides them with continuously growing front teeth, and with enough time they can gnaw through wood, shell, and bone. In nature, these adaptations are crucial to their survival. The ability to climb gives them means of navigating their habitat and defending territory from other squirrels. But their teeth, and specifically their diet, are where things get interesting. In the wild, squirrels are hoarders of food. Much of what they eat is provided by mast-bearing trees, mast being the words for nuts or fruit that the tree grows during certain periods. A good example is oak trees growing all their acorns at the end of the summer. Squirrels take advantage of this seasonal bounty by collecting as many nuts as they can and storing them, sometimes for months. This gives them a constant source of food even during the meager seasons, when supplemental food might be scarce and the mast harvest would otherwise be unavailable. Even in the spring, I've been seeing squirrels eat acorns from the previous fall. This on its own is very impressive. A squirrel might store thousands of nuts in one season and be able to relocate them later using only sense of smell and memory. It's why you see squirrels digging so often outside. Usually they're visiting old caches for breakfast. They even, as some students under researcher Sylvia L. Halkin in 2004 observed, will pretend to bury nuts and then secretly put them somewhere else in order to throw other animals off the trail. The most impressive thing I find is that this behavior only covers one aspect of their diet. They maintain a constant food supply with their mass caches, but squirrels are omnivorous just like humans are and eat whatever is available otherwise. They've been documented eating birds, insects, even other young squirrels. There's a pattern starting to emerge. Squirrels have variable diets, the intelligence to store food and recognize other species' intentions, and the ability to navigate vertical spaces. All of these behaviors make squirrels well adapted not just to woodland forests, but to human settlements as well. Even their large nests, called drays, which are usually made of plant matter and hollow trees and branch intersections, are easily constructed on our houses instead. For squirrels, suburbia isn't a bad place to live. Our buildings are places to shelter and convenient escape routes. If the native oaks and other trees are still present, they're able to cache plenty of food, but more notably they can subsist off human activity as well. They'll eat from bird feeders, trash cans, and other unattended stores of food. It is worth noting that usually this food isn't the best for them, especially what they find in the trash. More convenient for them, I'd argue, is the behavior of suburban humans. We are not active predators of squirrels, and our presence scares away large birds and mammals that are. Squirrels are usually wary of us, reasonably so given how large and loud we are, but they benefit from us being nearby, at least up to a point. There's one thing squirrels have not been able to adapt to in human spaces, and that's cars. From an evolutionary perspective, the car has existed for the blink of an eye, and squirrels don't have the speed and awareness to avoid one. Though conclusive data about species' makeup of roadkill is sparse, from other sources and my own observations, squirrels seem to be the most frequent roadkill species in Rhode Island, and this is where I most frequently encounter them. I grew up around farmers and hunters when I was young, and I became familiar with processing animals for food, study, and supplies. As an adult, this practice has re-emerged as I try to study the anatomy of the animals around me. Rhode Island has a law allowing legal salvage of roadkill, and with squirrels being the most common, I've brought home a lot of them for dissection and hide preservation. It's a strange hobby, to be sure, but it's brought me closer than ever to the local squirrel population. I tan every hide that I harvest, and I've never had such an appreciation for the individuality of each squirrel. In urban centers, different populations have taken on different color morphs, different sizes, different behaviors. They're as varied and unique as humans are. Even looking at their paws, I'm struck by how similar they are to our hands. It makes sense, we're both mammals adapted for climbing, but to me there's an undeniable kinship there. Evolution has brought us to the same places in the world, eating similar foods and sleeping in the same nests. This is what had me outside earlier this year, looking for squirrel nests in the coastal forests of Rhode Island. I wanted to see live squirrels, and I had the luck to find a pair nesting in a giant oak tree. It's spring, the time when squirrels have their babies and rear them almost like birds do. I can only imagine what the inside of this tree looks like right now. The male was fiercely defensive, and even though I was several feet away on the ground, he never took his eyes off me. He kept moving his tail as if to look bigger. When I returned on other days, I kept my distance, and I was able to see them visiting their caches on the ground. Every day it's been exciting. It's like seeing a side of my neighbors I'd never looked at before. The gray squirrel is not endangered, and instead of focusing on preserving habitat or ensuring access to food, keeping these animals healthy and thriving requires a different approach, or more literally, a slow one. Squirrels do dart out unpredictably into the road sometimes, but you can reduce vehicle strikes by driving slower and observing the habitat around you. I find most of my roadkill squirrels along a stretch of road close to thick forest, on a curve where drivers speed up because otherwise there's no traffic. Situational awareness is needed especially around this time of year, when there are nursing females that have babies relying on them back home. If you don't drive, there's other ways you can help squirrels too. You can make sure your trash cans are well covered so they don't get sick off your garbage. And if you have old trees or holes in your roof, watch out for nests, especially in the spring. In keeping squirrels alive, we do a service not just to them, but to the entire evolving ecosystem living around our human settlements. With healthy squirrel populations, more imperiled predators and birds of prey have access to food. Tree species are able to spread when squirrels move their seeds to caches and forget about them. Even us humans are given the rare opportunity to be close to wild animals without necessarily destroying their habitat. As I've continued to find squirrels alive and dead, I feel privileged to live near them. I couldn't ask for a more versatile or beautiful neighbor to live alongside.